Hi, I'm Luke the Gamer, and this is a guide to the Gunsmith in Modern Warfare 2. The Gunsmith system from previous Call of Duty titles returns in Modern Warfare 2, this time with some new tricks up its sleeve. Attachment unlocks have been overhauled, unlocking new weapons is slightly different this time around, and players now have the ability to fine-tune the stats on their attachments. Needless to say, there's a lot to unpack here, especially if you haven't played a Call of Duty game in recent years. This guide will explain what the Gunsmith system is, how to unlock attachments for your weapons, briefly cover the weapon tuning system, and will give you some recommendations on which attachments you should use. The Gunsmith is a sub-menu dedicated to weapon attachments, camos, and attachment tuning. All players unlock the Gunsmith at rank 4, although weapon attachments are unlocked through certain weapon trees, something we'll explain later. Excluding certain secondary weapons, all weapons in Modern Warfare 2 can be altered through the Gunsmith. You may equip a maximum of 5 attachments to any weapon, the same as Modern Warfare 2019. No mechanics will allow you to increase this attachment cap, and attachments consist of scopes, barrels, muzzles, under-barrel attachments, magazines, ammunition, grips, and stocks. Only one attachment may go in each slot. You can't equip 4 different scopes, for example. Overall, Modern Warfare 2's Gunsmith is similar to previous Call of Duty titles, but with far more attachment options and one new mechanic: weapon tuning. We'll cover weapon tuning towards the end of this video. As for the Gunsmith itself, not much has changed from Modern Warfare 2019's system. Although the limit of 5 attachments is still present, Cold War's Wildcards and Vanguard's raised attachment caps are absent here. A few attachment categories were separated in this installment, similar weapons are now bundled into weapon trees, and it's now possible to fine-tune attachment stats upon maxing out a weapon. Some of the most notable changes include how attachment unlocks are now tied to specific weapons instead of weapon levels. Take for example the canted laser sight. You unlock it by getting the TAC 56 to level 10, but once the laser sight is unlocked, you can equip it on almost any weapon, not just the TAC 56. Ammo types and magazine sizes have also been separated and are now classed as 2 different attachments. Upon reaching max level with a weapon type, you can now tune the stats on every attachment, and finally, weapon perks have mostly been removed, but most perks can be replicated through certain attachments or player perks. You'll need attachments if you want to use the Gunsmith system. Attachments are now unlocked by leveling up different weapons in your arsenal. Each weapon has roughly around 20 levels, all of which are obtained by earning XP in matches. Your typical sources of XP include eliminating targets, playing the objective, and landing headshots, all of which contribute towards your weapon's overall level. Unlike past Call of Duty titles, Modern Warfare 2 locks attachments behind specific weapons and not weapon rank. Now, I can't cover every attachment in Modern Warfare 2 as there's hundreds of them and it would take me hours to go over each one, but here are some tips for leveling up your weapons quickly. First of all, try playing Invasion or DMZ, as these modes are filled with bots that give weapon XP when killed, and if you find yourself not enjoying Invasion, you can also get weapon XP from objective modes like Kill Confirmed and Domination. It's also worth completing the campaign, as you'll receive 4 weapon XP tokens upon completing it, which allow you to double your weapon XP earnings for between 30 to 60 minutes each, so you can use these tokens to level up your weapons faster. And finally, use different weapons. It doesn't take long to max out a weapon, but this unlocks additional weapon platforms, and leveling up every weapon tied to a platform will maximise the amount of attachments you have. Every firearm in Modern Warfare 2 has a suite of stats that generalise its performance in certain categories, ranging from its effective range to overall accuracy. For a full breakdown of each stat and what it affects, make sure you check out the original guide on thegamer.com as linked in the description. Now, that is a lot of stats to track, and unfortunately it's not all of them. Many attachments in Modern Warfare 2 alter elements of each stat, not just the core stat itself. For example, a specific grip might alter your sprint to fire time, but not your other handling stats. Yet the game will increase your handling bar to indicate the sprint to fire buff. This means not all attachments have the same effect on your core stats, even if they alter your stat bars in the exact same way. The end result is that you should take your stat bars with a grain of salt. Weapons with some stats might perform much differently based on their attachments. Once you account for weapon tuning, this gets even more confusing. So focus on what your attachments are doing, not what your weapon stat bars say. And even more so, is some attachments in Modern Warfare 2 alter a stat that's not directly tied to your weapon's core stats. For example, some attachments affect stability, sprint to fire delay, or add noise suppression. None of these stats have a clear indicator of which weapon stat they impact, so once again, make sure you check out the guide on thegamer.com linked in the description for a breakdown of all of these stats and what they affect. Weapon tuning is a new feature in Modern Warfare 2 that allows you to alter the stats on equipped attachments. You'll unlock this feature by maxing out a weapon, at which point any attachments installed can be tuned. Upon installing an attachment on a maxed weapon, hover over the tune icon above the attachment to adjust its stats. Every attachment has two sliders that impact two stats each, doing so on an inverse scale. For example, if an attachment has a slider that affects ADS speed and sprint to fire time, increasing your ADS speed would lower your sprint to fire time and vice versa. While hard to quantify, expect around a 10% performance impact by maxing a particular slider. This sounds minuscule on paper, but doing this on all 5 of your attachments can have a noticeable impact on your weapon's performance. We'll have more detailed write-ups on the weapon tuning system once we unlock more ourselves and experiment with them. For now, we highly recommend giving this system a try for yourself and experimenting with values in the firing range, because a weapon that's tuned to your tastes will feel noticeably better than a Gunsmith configuration that ignores the feature entirely. Most weapons in Modern Warfare 2 have dozens of attachments to choose from, some of which provide similar stat differences to one another. With so many options, how can you discern which ones are worth using? While some of this will be subjective and reliant on playstyles, here's a few of our recommendations. First of all, look for anything with recoil stabilization. Weapons that spec for this stat will have accurate reticles during hectic gunfights, ensuring that your bullets land where you're aiming. In the scopes department, the Cronin Mini Red Dot is a 1x red dot sight that's clear, has a non-obstructive frame, and can be adjusted to take up more or less of your peripheral vision through weapon tuning. The VX Pineapple Grip is arguably the best early game underbarrel attachment in Modern Warfare 2 for recoil control. This grip substantially improves your weapon's recoil and general consistency with a minor ADS penalty. And if you're an aggressive player like myself, focusing on attachments that reduce the sprint to fire delay can be really helpful, especially if you pair it with multiple aim down sight attachments for a snappy build. So that's a guide on how to use the Gunsmith feature in Modern Warfare 2. Thanks for watching, and check out thegamer.com for more.